Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to the channel once again. And this is Scholar Media House, as you are already aware. And you know what we always do? It's all about health talk. We always give you health information, and that is what we are here to do once again. And before we dive into the topic of discussion for today, let me quickly tell you something that I've actually identified or discovered. If you are trading in Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, Pi, or all the cryptocurrencies, the class of trading in cryptocurrencies, then I have a right source for you. You just have to contact Staunch Tech. Yes, they trade in Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, Pi, and Binance. So you can see the flyer on your screen, and then just dial the numbers on the flyer, and then strike a business with them. And if you are a student too, and you want correct shito, yes, correct shito for all your banku, rice, and anything edible that maybe you may need shito, just contact Lola's Cousins Shito. Yes, Lola Cousins Shito. Irrespective of where you find yourself in the country, you just have to call the number. They will do a quick delivery, and the package is in such a way that even if somebody open it, you'll be able to see. And how they will package it, they will call you and tell you how they package it before it will get to you. So in case somebody open it, you know that yes, somebody have opened it. So yes, so we are done with the advertisement. Today our topic of discussion is going to be on candidiasis. So before we allow our guests to introduce themselves and then do the more talking, let's go for a quick commercial break. When we are back, we'll dive into the topic of today. Thank you very much. Come back from the quick commercial break, and as I've already informed you, today our topic of discussion is going to be on candidiasis. What causes candidiasis? In fact, everything about candidiasis. So once again, I am Brad Scholar, and this is Scholar Media House, and with me here is a special guest. So I'll give him the chance to introduce himself to you, our viewers and subscribers. So please introduce yourself to our viewers and subscribers.
All right. Good day to your viewers and listeners across the globe. I am in the person of Sampana Pascal. I am a nurse by profession.
All right. Okay. Welcome to our channel.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So today our topic of discussion is going to be on candidiasis.
Okay.
So please, to set the ball rolling, can you tell us what candidiasis is?
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Candidiasis is actually a fungal disease which is spread in almost every part of the body, depending on the type of infection it is. You can get candidiasis in the mouth, as in oral thrush. You can get it on the skin,
okay,
or you can as well get it at the organs of the patient, be it a male or a female. So that is the sex organ.
Okay.
So it is basically a fungal infection or a yeast infection,
okay,
that is gotten when getting contact with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So all right. So what are the ways it means somebody can contract this disease? So so what are the ways it means somebody can get this candidiasis?
Yes. So candidiasis can be gotten from so many forms.
Okay.
For example, if a patient is having immunosuppression, if the immune system of the person is very weak, the person is susceptible to candidiasis.
Okay.
If the person is having HIV, for example, the person is susceptible to candidiasis.
Okay.
And if a person is dwell in using moist items, as in wet panties,
okay,
wet boxers, or so much exposure to warmth which will produce heat from the body, the person stands higher chances of also getting candidiasis. Candidiasis actually doesn't necessarily mean only sexual contact that one can get it, but you can get it from so many ways.
So candidiasis is it a sexually transmitted infection, or there are other ways that happen?
Yes, it is not only sexual transmitted infection. There are other ways.
But it can be classified under
sexual transmitted infection. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
There is this perception that candidiasis is only in women, and with the guys you can't get candidiasis. Can you tell us something about it? Like, say something about it?
Candidiasis actually doesn't discriminate.
Okay.
Both sex are susceptible or exposed to it.
Okay.
The only thing is that in the case of the female, it is more visible, as in there will be discharges, there will be difficulty in urinating.
Okay.
There's also going to be pain during sex.
Okay.
All right. In the case of the female, the male, there's going to be redness in the testicles.
Okay.
And then there's also going to be painful urination. And even during sexual intercourse, there's even going to be pain during sexual intercourse. So it doesn't discriminate. But like I said in the beginning, it doesn't actually necessarily mean sex. We can have oral thrush in candidiasis. Once they get it in the buccal cavity or in the mouth, what happens is that it causes redness.
Okay.
Then there's going to be whitish substances, as in the saliva, at the corner side of the mouth. There are some people, when they speak, you see some salivary whitish coming at the corner sides of the mouth.
Okay.
It's one. There's going to be swelling of the tonsils.
Okay.
It's going to be swollen. There's going to be the gums will be having some swelling.
Okay.
And then on the tongue is going to be yellowish. You think it's dirty.
Okay.
So it is as a result of the thrush. So it doesn't actually necessarily mean it dwells in only female.
Okay.
It dwells in both male and female. But what makes it more dangerous is those who engage in oral sex.
Okay.
As in the course of sexual intercourse, then maybe the male try to, lick the genitalia of the female.
Yeah.
You have so many chances of getting it.
So what about the ladies also trying to lick?
Same, if the man is also having it, you have also. That is why I say in general, oral sex.
Okay.
So you have so many chances of getting it. Yeah.
So do you have types of candidiasis? Like, are they in category?
Yes. So candidiasis are in different types. We have the oral thrush, the one that affects the mouth. We have the the genitalia, the one that affects the organ.
Okay.
And we have the cutaneous, the one that affects the skin.
Yeah.
And then we have the interstitial, the one that affects within the intestinal tract. Yeah, so they are of different types. Yeah.
I'm sure you are learning something from this video. From now onwards, you know what causes candidiasis. So now you've told us what candidiasis is, and what will be some of the, you've already mentioned the signs and symptoms that the person will demonstrate or show. So what will be the complications for this infection?
Yes, so the complications for candidiasis, if it is not treated on time, it could lead to impotency, especially at the genitalia. Or the microorganisms can get, especially in the case of the female, it could travel to the uterus and it will cause infertility.
Okay.
It will cause infertility. In the case of the men too, it could also go in that manner. Yeah.
Are these the only complications, or there are some other complications?
Oh, there are other complications too. The person can develop dermatitis, the skin could be deformed. Okay. And the person may also be having, as I told you, those with the immunosuppression. Yeah. There's going to be loss of, what's the name? There's going to be nutritional imbalance. Okay. So once there's nutritional imbalance, the person is going to lose weight. Okay. Because the oral thrush may impair the person not to feed very well. And for that matter, the person will reduce in nutrients. All right. Yeah.
Okay. So to anybody watching and everybody like will come up with this video, what are the ways it means somebody can prevent himself from this infection? Yes,
so candida can be prevented in so many ways. First of all, we need to avoid wearing moist or wet panties, and then also try to keep our armpit very clean.
Okay, so before you continue, like this, the ladies normally say when they visit the toilet, on this public toilet, the heat that is emitted from the toilet normally causes candidiasis. I don't know how true it is.
Yes, actually, the heat is not the causative agent of the candida. Okay. But the causative agent is the Candida albicans. Okay. It's the Candida albicans that is the causative agent. And this Candida albicans, usually, they dwell more at filthy areas. Okay. They dwell more at filthy areas. like in the washroom,
Yeah.
in the toilet. That is where they dwell more on. So primitively, people may think it is the heat produced from the toilet, but it's actually not the heat, but it's rather from the filthy area where these Candida albicans survive. Yeah.
So let's continue with the preventions.
Yeah, so the preventions, like I told you, there are a lot of us, we abuse antibiotics.
Okay.
Naturally, the body has what we call a microflora. The microflora serve as a barrier or the first military, let me put it in that way, in that aspect, first military to fight infection, even when we are not even aware.
Okay.
So the excess abuse of antibiotics give the Candida albicans the chance to invade the system.
Okay.
So persons who abuses antibiotics are susceptible to it.
Okay.
There are some, the least infection, they go for antibiotics.
Yeah.
And once it happens that way, you are reducing the potency of the microflora. They are unable to function well. And if one thing about the Candida species is that once they get into your system, they do not fight you.
Okay.
They assume a comfortable place. They do not work because they also look at the microorganism, the microflora before they can work.
Okay.
But once you begin to abuse the microflora to an extent, and they realize that the microflora number is reducing, then they take charge of it.
Okay.
So abusing of antibiotics, you stand a high chance of getting it.
Okay.
Now, people with low immune system, like persons living with diabetes, HIV, and hormonal imbalances, they also stand a high chances of getting it. And like I told you, persons who also engage in oral sex also stand higher chances of getting Candida.
So we actually talk about the prevention, but somebody may ask, how does this disease occur, or what would be the pathophysiology of this infection that we are talking about?
Yeah, so in brief, as I told you, once you get in touch with the fungi, they get into your system. They do not operate immediately. They stay calm and they behave just as the system responds. But once they realize that the microflora is reducing, then they get involved. They now take absolute control over the system. So once they take absolute control of the system, they travel into areas where it will be difficult for the microflora to come and fight. So that is where they can get into the mouth and they begin to sprout out. Once they sprout out, then you see that foamy substances I made mention earlier on. Then if they get into the system, the cutaneous in the system, that is where you see that they will leave marks, they will invade certain parts, and then you see some marks as in ringworm and other skin infections. Yes. So once they get into the system, that is what they do. That is what they do.
Okay. I've learned a lot. I don't know whether you're also following. Yeah. So from where we've gotten to, we know what candidiasis is, what causes it, how to prevent it, and how the disease works before it affects the system or the pathophysiology of the disease. So your final words or advice to anybody who will come across this video with regards or prior to candidiasis?
Yes. So what I will encourage viewers and listeners is that with candidiasis, you need to stop the abusing of antibiotics. That's one. And two, avoid constant use or use of moist clothing, like in the boxers and the panties. And to the females who always wear this pant called a G-string, they are also susceptible to it. Then regular bathing. You need to bath regular, usually with antiseptics. You bath regularly, and then you keep your body moist with maybe this moisturizing, skin moisturizing. Then when you go into these practices, you stand higher chance of getting away with Candida. And then to also add up, your environment should also be clean, because like I told you, the Candida albicans, they dwell more at filthy areas, especially in our washrooms, in our toilets. We need to get them clean at all times so that we don't get in touch with this fungi or the yeast infection.
So our final question: in case somebody is having this infection, before the person will even go to the hospital, what will be the least thing the person can do before he should get to the hospital?
Well, the least thing you could do before going to the hospital, maybe you may want, for me, I don't subscribe to self-medication, but maybe some of the first attempts on medication you could go with the antifungal medications, like the fluconazole. You can go for the riboflavin. Yeah, these are, and then the the triple action, dermatitis cream. So these are the first measures you can put in place before you can go to. But for me, I will encourage that you go to the hospital. So that when you go to the hospital, they will do proper screening, and then they can give you the appropriate medications to combat the disease.
All right. Yeah. Here comes to an end of our discussion on candidiasis. So your final words to anybody watching, your friends or family, anybody at all. Welcome to cross this video.
Yeah. So I just want to use this opportunity to say a very big shout out to my family, my wife, my kids, and then my mother, Madam Comfort, my father, Sampana, all family and friends, especially students of Damango NMTC. I just want to tell them that I love them all. They should keep studying and then make Damango NMTC proud. And then to my bosses as well, my senior tutors in Damango NMTC, and everybody, I say a very big shout out to you. And also to encourage you to subscribe to Scholar Media, and also try and share the link. This is a platform for health education. Your health is key. If you're not healthy, everything comes to an halt. So please take advantage, subscribe to it, and then share. Yeah, I think this one.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge with us.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.